Right now, several are dead and dozens more are expected to have been killed after storms ripped across the Midwest. What we know so far is coming up. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Thanks for joining us on News 3 Now. I'm McKenna Alexander. Before we head into this morning's breaking headlines out of the Midwest, let's go ahead and see what we're seeing in our neck of the woods. Julian is outside right now on the patio. And Julian, it's already seeming to be a little bit of a winter wonderland out there.
Absolutely. A winter wonderland exactly is what we're seeing right now as we're waking up to our Saturday morning. But on top of that, McKenna, it's also pretty gusty as we're getting out here. Light snowfall right now on our patio. But as we take a look, we are still seeing some gusty conditions that will carry throughout the rest of today. Winter weather advisory is in effect for areas of the Crawford, Richland counties, areas much north of Dane County. And then even further north, we have a winter storm warning in effect as well until 9 a.m. this morning. And as we take a look, continuing throughout the rest, this is what we're going to be seeing. As of right now, we saw those storms to the south really impacting the Midwest, which was bringing in plenty of those chaotic and lots of tornadoes overnight. But for us, it's a much different story. Not severe weather, but we've been having winter weather throughout Wisconsin and was even impacting Minnesota in the overnight hours. But it's starting to taper off just a bit, but we are still looking at light snow showers, especially over to the northwest. We're seeing heavier bands of snow, but now we're looking for more light snow as we're going in throughout the rest of the morning. But here in Dane County, starting to pick up a bit, especially towards the southeastern side, making its way over towards Janesville and continuing to push east. So we're going to be looking at more of that snowfall to be carrying throughout, but just know, since we are looking at plenty of snow, it's going to be making some travel impacts. We're looking at slick and icy roads. Snow showers, wipers are definitely going to be needed, but make sure that you are taking it slow and being very cautious when traveling this morning. We're going to talk about much more about what else to expect coming up in a few moments. Until then, we're going to toss it back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. New this morning in Kentucky, the governor is saying he expects anywhere between 70 to 100 deaths as a result of a major storm. Now, that storm circling throughout the Midwest, unleashing at least 19 tornadoes in 5 states, causing widespread damage. Across the nation as of now, at least 4 people have died. Dozens more are injured. One of those tornadoes moving through the northeast corner of Arkansas. This picture captured by a man in the town of Bay. At least 2 deaths in Arkansas are attributed to those storms. One person was killed when a tornado hit a nursing home in Manette, and a woman was killed 8 miles away in Leachville when she was in a Dollar General store. The storm hit and she couldn't get out. More than 55 million people nationwide were at risk for severe storms on Friday. Here in Madison with our snowfall, every year it's accompanied by people seemingly relearning how slow to drive and how much salt to use. But regardless of how long you've lived here, as Christina Laurie found out, many continue to do both wrong.
The first snow of the season has us talking about 2 more S's.
We've continued to see crash rates and fatality rates on the road increase.
Slowing down.
A lot of that due to people that may have developed a bit of a lead foot, especially during the pandemic when roads have been a little less congested.
And salting up.
Salt is great for melting ice and keeping everybody safe, and that is very important.
But most people are still driving faster and using more salt than they think.
Something that I've heard is that if you have an average size coffee cup, this does roughly the average residential driveway.
The Clean Lakes Alliance says when it comes to salt, you want to avoid big clumps. Everything that we put on the sidewalks and streets drains to the sewers and lands in the lakes. So before you salt,
get all the snow off the driveway. It's not good to do snow and salt. It's going to make the salt ineffective. And then get as much ice up as you can too.
Once you've poured your salt and climb into your car.
Probably the biggest thing that I would recommend is to slow down.
Especially near intersections. The city of Madison released new crash data just this week showing a majority of crashes, 56%, happen at traffic lights. Although not all crashes happen during storm season.
It's actively snowing. It's hard to drive it even though our trucks are out.
Winter weather certainly doesn't make driving any easier. A good rule of thumb is to double your following distance from 3 to 6 seconds when it's snowing.
This time of year, wet roads can be slippery roads too, but you need to be careful out there.
Stay safe, Madison. 4 News 3 Now. I'm Christina Laurie.
And when Madison gets snow, the city streets department says they've been ready since October. Once the snow starts sticking to the pavement, as it already is, the department has now sent out 32 trucks to hit the main roads. Residential areas only get plowed if there's 2 or more inches of snow. Pre-treating the road with brine would keep snow from sticking as much, but when it rains, like it was earlier with the storm, it doesn't help enough to do so. And as the storm moves into southern Wisconsin, it's finishing its pass through Minnesota, where that snowfall also marked the first big one of the season. And as John Lortzen reports, residents have mixed feelings about the winter weather.
It's wet, it's heavy, it's a heavy snow.
It's how Tom Chavis is describing the first major winter storm of the season. For him, the snow is a welcome sight.
I love this. I got my snowblower tractor in the back, so when it really gets bad tonight, I'll ride that nice and warm in there. I could drive all night long.
Across Highway 169 in downtown St. Peter, Aero Hardware and Paint is seeing a slower day after a busy week.
Yesterday, I was out delivering snowblowers for the store, delivered 3 different snowblowers. I think we've sold maybe 6 this week.
At least kids are home to help with the snow removal. School in St. Peter, Mankato, and pretty much throughout the area was canceled in anticipation of the coming snowstorm. It began to come down around 10 o'clock Friday morning in Mankato and remained steady much of the day. At a gas station, truckers were relaxing before getting back on the road. It was their calm before the storm.
Slow down, be safe. There's nothing worth going in the ditch and getting in a wreck for. It's just not worth it.
Slippery conditions. Drive careful, drive defensively, and slow down the speed. Very important for your own safety.
In Mankato, John Lortzen, WCCO 4 News.
And now is a great time to download our free Channel 3000 weather app. With the storm heading through, the potential for significant snowfall, check it out. It's available now on the App Store. A day after federal officials authorized Pfizer's COVID-19 booster shots for 16 and 17-year-olds, Wisconsin's Department of Health Services cleared the way for local vaccinators to administer those shots. Now, as of now, only Pfizer's booster dose has been approved for that age group. Anyone looking to schedule a vaccination appointment can use DHS's online vaccine appointment tool. The CDC says that the most Omicron cases in the U.S. are among people who are fully vaccinated, saying Omicron infections are now confirmed in 25 states. Among 43 cases, the agency says 1 person was hospitalized.
Most people experienced only mild symptoms, which is what we would expect from a group of fully vaccinated individuals.
A member of the MMSD school board is looking to get back COVID sick days for teachers. Nick Vandermeulen is the clerk for the board, but says that she's speaking for herself on the issue. According to her, about 6 weeks ago, she started getting reports of a staff policy change that teachers had to use their own PTO if they needed to quarantine. In October, she asked the board to add COVID sick leave to the agenda, but it wasn't added. She was told negotiations are ongoing.
Right now, what we are doing is basically saying, well, if you don't have time off, that's not our problem. It is our problem. This is a pandemic. It affects every single individual.
From April to September of 2020, school districts were required by the federal government to provide COVID-specific leave time for staff. MMSD says it continued to provide coverage through September 2021. She hopes to have an open discussion at the matter on Monday's meeting. UW system leaders have signed off on tuition increases for out-of-state undergraduates and graduate students at 7 campuses after the Board of Regents gave final approval to the plan Friday afternoon. Now, that increase will impact UW Madison, Eau Claire, Oshkosh, Platteville, River Falls, Stout, and Whitewater. Now, the Regents will allow incoming freshman applicants to also forego sending in their ACT and SAT test score for another 2 years. Colleges across the country have suspended score submission requirements as the pandemic continues. Still ahead, how inflation could impact your holiday shopping. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol. Julian's tracking your forecast just ahead.
Trust the First Warn Weather Team for your most accurate forecast.
When your home feels clean and happy,
the people inside feel clean and happy too.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Any first item removed? Just $89.
When searching for your dream home, it's important to figure out what style of home you like. Victorian, cottage, Tudor. It's also important to protect your home and all the dreams that come with it. When looking for your dream home, keep in mind good things come in pairs, like dual sinks, Jonathan and me, and pairing your home and auto insurance, which can get you one step closer to achieving your dream. Pretty sure people call it bundling. Bundle your home and auto insurance and save up to 28%. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance.
when you take a statin drug to reduce cholesterol, it can also deplete your CoQ10 levels. Qunol can help restore this important heart health nutrient. Qunol, the better CoQ10.
The Culligan Connect app from Culligan Water works with our smart, high-efficiency water softener to monitor water usage, potential leaks, and salt, so you never run out. Get more control of your home's water. Contact Culligan Water, the local water experts.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
When your home feels clean and happy,
The people inside feel clean and happy too.
Oh, we make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Any first item removed? Just $89.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, everyone, we finally got into our winter wonderland and our first significant snowfall for much of Wisconsin. As we get things rolling for us, we're going to dive right into our winter weather bulletins. We still have a winter weather advisory for areas just north of Dane County and even further north. We still have a winter storm warning, still in effect until 9 a.m. this morning for us. And as we take a look, this is what we've been seeing. This system, the very strong system, which has swept across the Midwest, has brought plenty of severe weather to our friends to the south, which has been devastating, mainly for notables Kentucky. Our prayers and thoughts to there, as there have been plenty of damages for them. But over for us, we have these shortwave troughs that have brought in and has brought in plenty of that wintry weather for us, which is why we're starting to see some of that stormy conditions, especially for areas to the north. But as we're going in throughout the rest of this morning, it's starting to phase out just a bit, tapering off as we continue throughout the later part of this morning, as there was heavier bands of snow, especially to the northwest for areas like La Crosse, Viroqua, and even Camp Douglas. But now we're looking in just some light flurries and some light snow showers that are starting to fizzle out as we continue throughout the morning hours. Here in Dane County, we're still going to be dealing with some light snowfall as we continue throughout the morning, but we will start to see that transition as we get into the later part of our afternoon. But aside from the snow that we are seeing, we are looking at still some very windy conditions. Our gusts as of right now here in Madison, middle 30s, and plenty of us are still experiencing those low 20s as well as we're getting our morning started. So it is a blustery start to our morning, and with the snow added to it, visibility has been obscured and lowered, especially to areas to the west and around Dane County. As we continue throughout, since we are looking at blustery conditions, our travel impacts, especially with that falling snow, is definitely going to be very hindered as we continue throughout the morning. So make sure that you are taking it slow, because we are also having reports of icy and slick roads as we continue throughout the morning. Now, timing out the rest of what we can be expecting for our morning, the snow is going to be clearing out pretty quickly. Once we get past 9 o'clock, heading into approaching the noon hour, we're looking for it to clear up for us. Temperatures are still going to be into those middle 30s, but much more clear skies. But the blustery conditions will be sticking around throughout the course of the day. So expect some more windy conditions as we get into our afternoon. Now, in terms of snow totals, not looking for much more in terms of snow totals. Still going to be less than an inch for all of us here in southern Wisconsin as we're starting to wrap things up. But here's a quick look at some of the notables of the snow accumulations we've seen in the last 24 hours. The biggest notable is our friends in Minnesota at 21 inches, which has been reported. And I'm sure for us in Wisconsin, we're going to be seeing a bit more of those snow totals starting to roll in through the later part of this morning. Right now, 31 degrees, still looking at light snow here in Madison. But as you're planning out the day, just know we're going to be seeing those conditions clear up for us. Temperatures won't be improving that much. However, the improvements will be coming once we start into Sunday. As we can see, plenty of of temperatures are going to be on the rise. And then even next week, Wednesday, we're looking at 62 degrees to be in the forecast for us. That'll be setting a record here in Madison at 62 degrees. Our record back in 2011 was 52. That just goes to show you how warm we're expecting things to get as we head into the next week, McKenna. It's going to melt away all the snow that we just got.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm feeling really jealous of Eau Claire right now. I kind of wish I was back there just for the snow, although I don't want to drive in it. But if this snow melts and we don't have anything for Christmas, I will be upset. And I guess Chris Reese will be too. That'll ruin his bold prediction.
Yeah, his bold prediction and his white Christmas that he's been wanting since he's
right. You're right. That is so true. All right. Thanks, Julian. The cost of living continues to rise. As a new report reveals, the rate of inflation hit a nearly 40-year high. And it's happening as millions of Americans are shopping for presents. New government data shows U.S. consumer prices soared in November, up 6.8% in the past year. That's the biggest jump since 1982. And it's not just gifts. Rising prices are also impacting everyday items. At the grocery store, beef and bacon are up more than 20%. Gas has also skyrocketed 58%. That's the largest 12-month increase since 1980.
If you think that this is going to be behind us in the next couple of months, it's not. We are going to see higher prices, probably well into next year.
In the auto industry, fewer new cars are being built because of a microchip shortage. That's increased demand and prices for used cars, which are up more than 31% in the past year. And the supply chain issues are apparently not affecting how much product is actually being shipped into the United States. That's according to a new global port tracker report. In it, it found the United States is on track to break records despite disruptions to the supply chain. According to that report, this year will have over 18% more volume than it did in 2020. Still ahead, there are several new shows and movies to check out this weekend. Will shares his picks in 3 things to watch. Trending news is just ahead on News 3 Now this Saturday morning.
Make this holiday season special when you use the Pick and Save app to get personalized coupons, rewards like fuel points, and weekly deals. So you can get exactly what you want at prices that are lower than low. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
I was a Navy submariner for over 20 years. I spent a large portion of my life underwater. Service is about putting your country before yourself. But Senator Ron Johnson uses his office to serve himself. Ron Johnson passed a special tax break that benefited his family's business, then cashed out of the company for $5 million. Ron Johnson has doubled his wealth since he's been elected. That's not what service is about. Tell Ron Johnson to stop voting for tax laws that benefit himself.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruber's Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber's Law Offices. One call, that's all.
When you open a jar of Better Than Bouillon, you open up dinner time to great flavor. Chicken, beef, roasted garlic, sauteed onion. With Better Than Bouillon, the possibilities are endless. Make your everything better with Better Than Bouillon. Don't just make it better.
At iMart Express, it's just the right price. 2 pairs of glasses start under $40. Using insurance? We accept over 1,000 plans, and using your benefits is as easy as 1, 2, 3. No insurance? No problem. Glasses to fit your budget. It's just the right price. Only at iMart Express.
This year, don't just get ready, get holiday ready. And the only place to start is at your local Ford dealer. Get the Ford SUV that's perfect for your family's holiday traditions. Ford Explorer, Escape, or Bronco Sport with our best offers of the season. Inventory is arriving daily, so see your Ford dealer today and get holiday ready. Now get a Ford Explorer with 0% financing for 60 months plus $500 bonus cash. Only at your local Ford dealer.
When the hands that do the fixing need fixing. When the hands that do the caring need caring. That's a job for O'Keeffe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream and guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keeffe's for healthy feet.
$5 for the best kind of wings, paired with the best kind of celery sticks. Crinkle fries. Arby's, we have the meat.
With Pick and Save delivery, It's easy to get your special holiday foods brought right to your door. And that's music to your ears. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
And a quick update to our weather as of right now. Tracking that snow, if you're going to be traveling on the interstate, that we're now starting to see some heavier bands on the interstate, especially if you're going to be traveling either north or southbound as of right now. So expect some slick spots as you're continuing throughout the rest of our morning. But we are going to be seeing it clear out as we continue throughout the morning hours. Heading and approaching our noon hour, we're going to see temperatures still hang into those 30s, but skies will be clearing up. But behind it, we're going to be looking at much blustery conditions for us. Not a whole lot more in terms of our snow accumulations, just more light snow that will be sticking around for us throughout the rest of our morning. But our three takeaways for today is we're going to be seeing those snow showers throughout the course of this morning. But as we get into the rest of our afternoon, we're looking at gusts to be hitting 40+ miles per hour. And then the good news is, folks, all the snow that we've seen, well, I don't know if it's really good news, but for some of us who are really still holding on to some warmth, well, we're going to look at the next few days to be holding on to some mild temperatures and potentially a record breaker heading into next Wednesday. But we'll talk more about this coming up, but until then, back to you, McKenna.
That is not good news, Julian.
Fair enough.
Well, there's clearly no shortage of films and shows streaming, especially if you're staying in day and out of the cold. Our Will Loper shares a few of the best in this weekend's 3 Things to Watch.
Newly streaming on Netflix is the film The Unforgivable.
I was in prison. I just got out. And I was there for 20 years. For what?
Sandra Bullock plays an ex-con released from prison trying to re-enter society.
She walks around like it never happened. So you tell me if that's fair. You gotta be a convict wherever I go?
No, you're a cop killer everywhere you go.
Hey, Ruth, just stop. I'm good.
The Unforgivable is streaming on Netflix now.
I don't quit. How's Bobby? Miss you both so much.
Newly streaming on Amazon Prime is the film Encounter.
Dad, we're back. Come here. Keep your eyes open. The game is called Get in the Car as Fast as Humanly Possible. You gonna let him beat you?
Riz Ahmed plays a vet who goes to save his sons from alien invading bugs. But are the bugs just in his mind?
Why can't we go home? This ain't a road trip. It's a rescue mission. Nothing bad's gonna happen to you while I'm around.
If we do this thing right, you will always be a hero to your sons.
Encounter is streaming on Amazon Prime Video now.
If we don't stand by each other, we can't get through anything?
Yes.
I know we can.
There's 2 kinds of people, Dad. The ones who have a B-bot and the ones who don't.
Hey, guys.
Oh, sorry, I'm in your shot.
Oh, I have a filter for that.
And new to rent or buy on home video this week is the animated film Ron's Gone Wrong.
Oh, Dad, you got me one!
Hi, Barney. I'm your best friend out of my box.
What are you doing?
A socially awkward boy gets a digital buddy, Ron. Only problem is Ron doesn't quite work like he should.
I'm not leaving you behind. They will send you to the Crusher.
We'll go to the Crusher together.
No, crushing is not fun.
Not fun.
Ron's Gone Wrong is out on DVD and Blu-ray now.
Both of you, hands where I can see them.
Happy watching. Those are the 3 things you need to watch. And this is Will Loper for News 3 Now this morning.
Next, as homicide rates soar across the nation, experts are pointing to one problem in particular. We'll be right back.
This might look like a cliffhanger.
But this is the Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 14 models.
Better bring that home for the holidays.
Try getting
bring deals this big down the chimney during the holiday sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, purchase any Tempur-Pedic and get a free $300 gift. Or check out the budget-friendly Summit Firm, easy on the wallet for only $284.99. Shop our Doctor's Choice original lineup starting at only $664.99. And score 2 Doctor's Choice pillows for just $69.99. Plus 5 years no interest and free shipping right to your door. 'Tis the season to settle in for silent nights. Happy holidays from Denver Mattress.
You've heard that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but you still need to see your dentist because getting good dental care is important to your overall health. You know dental bills can take a big bite out of your budget, especially if you're retired or on Medicare. Even a simple cleaning can cost $200. And other procedures like crowns and root canals can cost hundreds, even thousands more. But affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company can help. Give us a call or go online for this free information kit with all the details. This isn't just a discount plan. This is real dental insurance that can help pay for over 350 covered procedures like cleanings, fillings, crowns, even dentures. There are no deductibles, no annual maximum, and you can see any dentist you like. So don't wait. Call now or go online for your free information kit from Physicians Mutual.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
It's easier than ever to get quality health insurance plans on healthcare.gov. Thanks to COVID relief, now 4 out of 5 people can get a plan for $10 or less, including checkups, cancer screenings, and more. I'm Nick, a health insurance expert at a nonprofit in Wisconsin. There are people like me in your area who provide free help to sign up and get the best deals for you. If you couldn't afford a plan before, it's time to look again. Act now to get these new prices. Call 211 to find an expert near you or visit WISCcover.com.
Look, it's working. He thinks that's a video game.
He's learning.
And he doesn't even know it.
Learning made fun, parenting made easier.
This might look like a cliffhanger.
But this is the Nissan sales event ad.
Save up to $42.62 on select models.
Better bring that home for the holidays.
Right now, homicide rates are climbing across the country, with experts saying COVID plays a role, but guns are a bigger factor.
And we're waking up to a winter wonderland. We'll tell you the latest coming up.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us on News 3 Now this Saturday. I'm McKenna Alexander. Before we get into our snowy weather outside, we have some breaking national news. This morning in Kentucky, the governor is saying he expects anywhere between 70 to 100 deaths as a result of a major storm. That storm circling throughout the Midwest, unleashing at least 19 tornadoes in 5 states and causing widespread damage. Across the nation as of now, at least 4 people have confirmed to have died, and dozens more are injured. One of the tornadoes moved through the northeast corner of Arkansas. This picture here captured by a man in the town of Bay. At least 2 deaths in Arkansas are attributed to the powerful storms. One person was killed when a tornado hit a nursing home in Monette, and a woman was killed 8 miles away in Leachville. She was in a Dollar General store when the storm hit, and she couldn't get out. More than 55 million people nationwide were at risk for severe storms on Friday. Let's go ahead and send over to Julian Seawright for a look at our weather here in Dane County. Julian?
That's right. And our weather here in Dane County and for Wisconsin itself is vastly different from what others in the Midwest were seeing. As we can see from this system, it was a very strong and potent system that brought in a line of storms and even brought in a tornado outbreak to areas in the Midwest that really devastated areas such as Bowling Green in Kentucky. Our thoughts and prayers are with them, but for us, it's a much different story. We're dealing with snowy conditions for us, especially as we're waking up this morning. And we have a winter weather advisory still in effect for areas into the north of Dane County until 9 a.m. with the winter storm warning even further, which is in the pink, until 9 a.m. as well. But as we take a look at our radar, once again, you can still see that line of storms still impacting the Midwest, pushing its way to the east. But for us, we're looking at the snow starting to taper off a bit. Now it's mainly into the east, still having heavy impacts into Green Bay. But as we take a closer look over towards the northwest, starting to clear out for us. But here in Dane County, we're still dealing with some pretty light and moderate snowfall, especially as we continue throughout the rest of our morning hours. Now, time timing it out, what else we're going to be expecting, or how much longer we're going to expect it for. Looking forward to clear out within the next few hours, and especially as we approach noon, we're looking for much more clearer conditions for us, which is also not going to be prompting us with too much more in terms of seeing snow accumulation. Still going to be less than an inch for us here in southern Wisconsin. As we're planning out the rest of the day, just know we're going to be looking at much clearer conditions, but it's going to be blustery. Winds are going to be right at our backs as we get into our afternoon. But the good news is, well, if you want a bit more warmer weather, not ready for winter just yet, even though we're into December, temperatures are going to be climbing back into those 40s and potentially seeing a record breaker as we get into Wednesday. We'll talk more about this coming up in a few moments. Until then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. 3 more weeks until 2021 comes to a close, but it's already going down as a year with a soaring number of homicides across the country. The murder rate in some cities breaking records, with experts saying stress from the COVID pandemic is playing a role, but the major factor, guns. Here's more from CNN's Ryan Young.
Across the country, police departments, cities, towns, and communities are dealing with an alarming increase in the number of homicides. From Portland,
everybody has their head on a swivel,
to Birmingham.
Let's go right over to the street.
Now to Austin.
And this certainly is not the right reason, not something when we're setting this type of a record that we want to be in the news for.
Where the fast-growing city has shattered its yearly record for homicides, making 2021 the city's deadliest year on record. A CNN analysis of more than 40 of the most populous cities in the U.S. shows 9 that have already set homicide records before year's end. Indianapolis has surpassed their 2020 total of 215, Philadelphia with 524 homicides to date, and Albuquerque, New Mexico with 103, and Austin, Texas. What's it like to see the numbers of homicides that you guys are experiencing right now?
You know, it's just really disappointing, quite honestly.
Austin Police Chief Joseph Chacon says there's no one reason for these record high numbers, but he has noticed a disturbing trend.
We have seen really a spike in gun violence. So, you know, just a proliferation of illegally owned weapons on the street.
Nationwide, more homicides are being committed using guns than ever. Shootings have increased nearly in all major U.S. cities that track that data. There have been 88 homicides in Austin so far this year, according to the police department. Double last year's total, and the city's homicide rate has ticked up to 8.5%, putting it on par with numbers not seen consistently since the 80s. But it's not guns alone. Police chiefs, activists, and experts say COVID-19 is still a contributing factor.
So you have something of a perfect storm where the people who are at the highest risk for violence are being pressed more than ever.
Experts recommend looking into community-based approaches to reducing violent crime.
Police need to be at the table, and police are part of the solution, but they are not the whole solution. You need community-based organizations and law enforcement agencies working together.
Activists agree.
Maybe if we were sending other types of resources other than just police into our communities, we would be having different outcomes.
Chris Harris says he's seeing more guns on the street, leading to not just violent, but deadly consequences.
Guns are just more accessible across our country and across our community and across our state in particular.
Austin PD is working to turn the tide using its real-time crime center and new Office of Violence Prevention.
If these guys were fighting, we can watch exactly what's going on.
Other cities are also looking into violence reduction strategies to combat violent crime.
We have a problem that is much deeper than Baltimore City.
In Baltimore, the mayor there says they've taken 2,000 guns off the streets this year, but the city's homicide rate has remained steady in recent years. Mayor Scott says it's something many mayors around the country are dealing with.
We still have the historical things that are happening, the drugs, the gangs, the money, but so many more people are dying over small interpersonal disputes.
They're using gun violence to solve petty beefs. It is a culture. It's a way of thinking.
As the country grapples with a historic increase in the homicide rate and a reimagining of police departments, back in Austin, they're looking for solutions as fast as they can.
We need to get ahead of that problem, and as a community, as a city, that's what we're doing.
Police across the nation are hoping the new policies being introduced will decrease this gun violence. Locally, the Madison Police Department is asking for help identifying this man. They believe he is responsible for spray painting a number of buildings in the State Street area dating back to at least a month. Police are asking anyone with information to call them or Madison area Crime Stoppers. A judge is delaying any further action in a lawsuit seeking to force the mayors of Madison and Green Bay to face jail or sit with depositions with Michael Gableman. They're scheduled to meet again January 21st. Gableman was hired by Republican Assembly Speaker Robin Vos to investigate the 2020 election. Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway has repeatedly said she would provide testimony publicly, but not behind closed doors, as Gableman wants. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden is planning a trip to Wisconsin next week. According to the White House, she'll be visiting Milwaukee and Waukesha on Wednesday with the second gentleman, Douglas Emhoff. No additional information about the visit has been released. Still ahead, a look at how Madison's preparing for today's snow. We'll be right back.
When your home feels clean and happy,
the people inside feel clean and happy too.
Oh, we make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Any first item removed? Just $89.
Better skin from your body wash? Try Olay Body Wash with skincare super ingredient collagen. Olay Body Wash hydrates to improve skin 3 times better, from dry and dull to firm and radiant. With Olay Body, I feel fearless in my skin.
When you really need to sleep, you reach for the really good stuff. New ZQL Ultra helps you sleep better and longer when you need it most. It's non-habit forming and powered by the makers of NyQuil. New ZQL Ultra, when you really, really need to sleep.
You know what I'm going to miss most about space?
What's that?
How easy it is to keep up my saving habit. There's nothing to buy up here.
We're making it easier to save on Earth, too. When you open a savings builder account at BMO Harris, you can get a cash reward for every month you save.
Anything to help launch my savings?
Sure. When you open a checking account, we'll give you $200 to kickstart your savings progress.
$200 and a monthly savings reward.
It's a way to save that won't weigh you down. It's a little space humor.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
On my travels across the country, I came across this house with water dripping from the ceiling. You never know when something like this will happen. So let the Geico Insurance Agency help you with homeowners insurance and protect yourself from things like fire, theft, or in this case, water damage. Now, if I had to guess, I'd say somewhere upstairs there's a broken pipe.
Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance at geico.com.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
When your home feels clean and happy,
the people inside feel clean and happy too.
Oh, we make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Any first item removed? Just $89.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team advocates for you, getting through when you can't.
We hear comments like, oh, thank you for listening, nobody cared.
Asking the right questions.
Your customers are so frustrated. You hope to make that right.
And getting results.
They sent a water heater the next day after you told me you made the call.
When you're getting nowhere, we have the team and the resources to get answers. Call for Action, only on News 3 Now. We're taking action for you.
As we continue our wintry start to our Saturday, well, we're keeping an eye on what we're seeing on the radar. That storm, the line of storms that came in and swept through the overnight, which brought havoc, and that tornado outbreak to areas such as Kentucky and Bowling Green, which was devastated those areas, is still continuing to push east. But us here in Wisconsin, we're looking at the snow to start to dwindle out, especially when it was really impacted in the Northwest. It's now starting to lighten out and taper off as we're starting to continue throughout the rest of our morning hours. Taking a look over towards Dane County, as of right now, we're still seeing another wave of that light snow, still starting to make impacts. And those who are traveling around I-39, just know that it's going to be slippery and it's going to be slick, and there have been reports of ice developing as well. So make sure that you are taking it slow and being cautious when traveling this morning. Wind gusts as of right now, 35 miles per hour in Madison. We are looking at blustery conditions around southern Wisconsin as our gusts are into those upper 20s and lower 30s throughout much of southern Wisconsin. Just to start start our morning. And with the snow still falling, it's looking with that gusty conditions is going to be dropping our visibility. So once again, make sure that you're taking it slow when you're traveling this morning. However, that snow is going to be clearing out as we continue throughout the rest of our morning hours, going into our afternoon. Plenty of sunshine, but still going to be on the chillier side with those gusty conditions. But since the snow is starting to taper off, we are not looking for much more in terms of seeing real snow accumulations along the significant side. But we'll keep an eye on this throughout the rest of this morning. Till then, back to you, McKenna.
All right, thanks, Julian. Well, when Madison gets snow, the city streets department says it's ready and has been since October. Now that the snow has begun sticking to the pavement, the department has sent out 32 trucks to hit the main roads. Residential areas only get plowed if there's 2 or more inches of snow. Pre-treating the road with brine would help keep snow from sticking as much, but when it rains like it did with this storm, it doesn't help enough to do so. Now, the first snowfall every year is accompanied by people seemingly relearning how slow to drive and how much salt to use. And regardless of how long you've lived here, as Christina Laurie found out, many of us continue to do both wrong.
The first snow of the season has us talking about 2 more S's.
We've continued to see crash rates and fatality rates on the road increase.
Slowing down.
A lot of that due to people that may have developed a bit of a lead foot, especially during the pandemic when roads have been a little less congested.
And salting up.
Salt is great for melting ice and keeping everybody safe, and that is very important.
But most people are still driving faster and using more salt than they think.
Something that I've heard is that if you have an average size coffee cup, this does roughly the average residential driveway.
The Clean Lakes Alliance says when it comes to salt, you want to avoid big clumps. Everything that we put on the sidewalks and streets drains to the sewers and lands in the lakes. So before you salt,
get all the snow off the driveway. It's not good to do snow and salt. It's going to make the salt ineffective. And then get as much ice up as you can too.
Once you've poured your salt and climb into your car.
Probably the biggest thing that I would recommend is to slow down.
Especially near intersections. The city of Madison released new crash data just this week showing a majority of crashes, 56%, happen at traffic lights. Although not all crashes happen during storm season.
It's actively snowing. It's hard to drive it, even though our trucks are out.
Winter weather certainly doesn't make driving any easier. A good rule of thumb is to double your following distance from 3 to 6 seconds when it's snowing.
This time of year, wet roads can be slippery roads too, but you need to be careful out there.
Stay safe, Madison. 4 News 3 Now. I'm Christina Laurie.
And now's a great time to download our free Channel 3000 weather app. With the snow coming in, it's a great time to get it in the App Store for free. And you're looking live over the Capitol. Julian will have your full forecast next on News 3 Now this Saturday morning.
Look Who's 3 is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
The holidays are doubly important this year, so make your celebrations doubly special with our award-winning cave-aged Maurice cheese. Pick and save. Hey, you're right, we can't stop now. Let's take the special up a level with fresh, never frozen prime beef. Still not special enough? Add some surf to that turf with our sustainably caught seafood. Turn your taste buds up to 11 and have a doubly special holiday with Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
We can't all be morning people, but we can all eat McDonald's for breakfast.
Enjoy a savory bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit and pair it with a $1 any size Dr. Pepper.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Happy holidays from Meineke Car Care Center. We would like to thank you for your business this year and wish you and your family a safe and happy holiday season. Drive safe during all of your travels. Meineke, doing car care right.
With a Ford F-150 and an available Pro Power onboard generator, you're not just ready, you're holiday ready. Get a Ford F-150 with 0 for 60 and 500 retail bonus cash, plus complimentary maintenance when you sign up for Ford Pass Rewards. See your Ford dealer today.
Some days, you just don't have it. Not my uncle, though. He's taking Trulicity for his type 2 diabetes, and now he's really on his game.
Once weekly Trulicity lowers your A1C by helping your body release the insulin it's already making. Most people reached an A1C under 7%. Plus, Trulicity can lower your risk of cardiovascular events. It can also help you lose up to 10 pounds. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. Show your world what's truly inside. Ask your doctor about once weekly Trulicity.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
We're going to start things off with looking at our surface map. We had that strong low pressure system, which has brought in a line of severe storms overnight to much of the Midwest and has caused destructive damage to areas such as we've highlighted throughout the show, like Bowling Green in Kentucky. But for us, what we're going to be seeing is more on the wintry side. Not looking at severe weather, but we are looking at winter weather advisories. As we take a look at our bulletin, areas just north of Dane County until 9 a.m. we have a winter weather advisory, and even further north, we have a winter storm warning in effect until 9 a.m. as well. But as we take a look once again at our radar, the line of storms which has swept throughout the night, which brought plenty of tornadoes and had a tornado outbreak, we are looking at here in Wisconsin for us. Again, a different story. We're now looking at all that snow starting to fall apart for the most part. Still some light snowfall, mainly into the southern areas of Wisconsin and over towards Green Bay. We're looking at some heavier bands as well. But all the bands of snow that were into the northwest, which was bringing in plenty of snow from Minnesota into La Crosse and Viroqua areas, has now cleared out. And for us here in Dane County, we're now still looking at some light snowfall that's going to continue throughout the next hour or so. But then on top of that, we're going to be looking at some gusty winds once it clears out for us. Much more blustery conditions as we continue throughout our Saturday morning. And with the falling snow and those gusting winds, our visibility is much obscured, especially around Dane County. If we go into Lone Rock and the Dells area, we can see just about a mile of visibility. And it's even more so obscured if we look even more to the east. So with all this, remember, travel impacts are greatly impacted due to these conditions. We're looking at these snow showers throughout the morning, so the wipers will definitely be needed. Icy, slick roads. Make sure that you are taking it slow throughout your travels this morning. And of course, always have your headlights on. Now, as we take a look at what we're going to be seeing throughout the course of the day, once the snow is clearing out, we're looking for plenty of open skies. Sun is going to be at our backs throughout our afternoon. Going into tonight, temperatures are going to hold firm on the milder side as we're still into those low 30s. But in terms of how much snow we're going to be seeing with what's left, not much. Not even going to be seeing about a half an inch for most areas as we continue throughout the rest of our event. But just a quick look at what we have as the most recent updated totals for us. Well, we still are looking at pretty decent snow totals, especially for areas like McKenna's Eau Claire, 7 inches, but St. Paul, Minnesota has seen 21 inches so far. But we'll continue to update that throughout the course of the day as more reports come in. Planning out the rest of today, however, it's going to be blustery, it's going to be windy, but at least we're looking at sunshine. And if we're going to be seeing the 3 things we need to know that we're going to take away from this forecast is that the snow showers will be ending this morning. Then we're looking at gusty conditions, 40+ miles per hour. And heading into next week, well, we are looking back at another warm-up. Look at this roller coaster. Lower 40s for tomorrow, and we are just going to go up, up, up on Wednesday and then start to dwindle back down as we head into the back end of next week. More wintry-like temperatures next weekend, but until we get there, well, folks, might want to put the jackets away as we look at Wednesday, because McKenna, it's not a typo, 62 degrees.
That is, you know, you said McKenna's Eau Claire a minute ago, and as much I am so jealous of them for that snow, I am not jealous of my old coworkers who are having to be out in it reporting right now. So I will stay here. Maybe I'll shed the jacket next week for that warm weather, but as long as we bring back some snow for the holidays, I'm good.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully it holds up that we do get some white Christmas conditions for
We
us.
better. We both have our trees up. We're ready now. All right. Thanks, Julian. Hot holiday gifts for children often include technology, from phones to tablets to video game systems. Kids have spent much more time on screens during the pandemic, and now now that's leading to eye problems. Naomi Regime shows us why more children are needing glasses and how parents can help.
All 3 of Ann Eng's boys are having issues with their eyesight.
They are looking like out of the corner of their eye, squinting, or when they go pick up something, they have to get really close to either the screen or the phone. It's always in their face.
Her oldest, Zayden, is at the eye doctor for an issue that's only gotten worse in school.
They write big, but to me it seems small because I can't see.
Zayden has myopia, or nearsightedness.
It's feeling like it's even harder, that it's gotten worse?
Yes.
It's a diagnosis optometrist Dr. James Delarusso is seeing more often, especially in children.
A lot more usage of device, not only for their academics, but also for leisure and social connection. And absolutely seeing an exponential increase in people's strength of their prescriptions.
One study from China of more than 120,000 children ages 6 to 8 found cases of nearsightedness increased up to 3 times during the pandemic.
Parents want the best for their kids. What can they do to slow this down?
Well, I think knowledge is power and early diagnosis is key.
Doctors say something as simple as spending a little more time outside can help slow the progression of nearsightedness. Dr. Delarusso recommends following the 20-20 rule.
After 20 minutes of screen time, they want to look at an object 20 feet away for about 20 seconds to let their eye sort of reset that accommodation and relax.
All tips Zayden and his mom hope will help him see better now and into the future. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
Eye doctors recommend having children screened for vision problems between the ages of 6 and 8 years old. Stick with News 3 Now all weekend. Brad will have the day's top stories tonight at 6 and 10. But first, a look at skydivers that exceed well over 300 miles per hour. We're back in a moment.
We've been waiting all year to come together. Have a happy and safe holiday season from Lexus.
It's time to take your sleep to the next level with a new Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhafels. Tempur-Pedic mattresses actively adapt to your body's pressure points, giving you a more personal sleep experience than ever before. Queen Tempur-Pedic mattresses start at $22.99. Plus, get $300 in Steinhafels cash with a Tempur-Pedic mattress set purchase. Upgrade your sleep with a Tempur Ergo Smart Base that automatically adjusts to snoring, giving you a great night's sleep. Relax. It's Steinhafels.
How powerful is an Invisalign smile? So powerful, you can face anything, even these faces. Invis is a powerful thing. Invis is the clear aligner brand most trusted by doctors and more predictable. Invisalign.
Isn't it great how swinging through Culver's drive-thru marks the unofficial start to family time? How biting into a hot-off-the-grill Butterburger makes worries melt away? And how a fresh frozen custard concrete mixer puts a smile on your face every time? Here, a meal you didn't have to make is a meal made fresh for you. And being greeted with a smile, even beneath a mask, makes all the difference.
There's a reason we put so much care into our food. That reason is you.
Welcome to Delicious.
Here's to the holidays. Here's to the casserole queens and Santas who saute. To the turkeys brined in beer, and well, just beer. To the ones who do the most, and the ones who do the least. To the classic traditions, and whatever you call this one. This year, no matter how you holiday, Festival has you covered. Festival Foods, a Wisconsin tradition since 1946.
Gifts come in many forms, but rarely do they offer the opportunity to pass on a legacy. When you give EdVest, Wisconsin's 529 college savings plan, as a gift, you pave the way for future generations to achieve their dreams through higher education. Your gift offers 100% tax-free growth potential and can be used at colleges, universities, and technical colleges. Continue your family's proud tradition of higher education or start one of your own by giving the gift of a promising future with EdVest.
Hey, Lexus, play holiday music.
We've been waiting all year to come together. Have a happy and safe holiday season from Lexus.
Finally, say it this morning, every athlete wants to be higher, faster, and stronger. It's what drives them to excel. But there's one discipline where the speeds achieved are well over 300 miles per hour. CNN World Sports' Don Riddell has been speaking with the world champions and world record holders of speed skydiving, who say the speeds they can travel are truly mind-blowing.
They're the fastest athletes on the planet, and their only fuel is gravity. Kyle Lopres and Maxine Tate are the world champions at speed skydiving, and what they do is not for the faint of heart.
Kind of feels like what I would imagine going through a wormhole feels like. And you see those scenes in Star Wars where all the stars start to get blurred. They turn the lines. It's kind of what it feels like.
This year, Lopres set the world record, moving at 318 miles per hour, or nearly 500 feet per second. Maxine Tate holds the women's record at 285 miles per hour.
It feels very visceral. It feels extremely intense. It's the only type of skydive where I come down and I can see my hands are physically trembling, and that's an involuntary physical reaction to the sheer visceral intensity of the dive. It's the fastest non-motorized sport in the world. I mean, we're going at speeds faster than Formula One cars, you know. It's 4 times the speed of someone going down the freeway in their car at 70 miles an hour. I think it just blows people's minds.
Both are skydiving enthusiasts, although their journeys could hardly have been more different. Maxine walked away from 15 years of experience with a corporate finance job in London to pursue her skydiving dream. She's got almost 10,000 jumps under her belt.
Spending all the time I was at work with the long hours and, you know, multiple weekends working in the city and what have you, that really wasn't what was important to me. And I made a massive switch and decided to just hit the reset button and go and do something which I knew I was super passionate about, and I have not regretted it.
Kyle has a background in the military with 14 years of aviation experience. He's flown attack helicopters and also fixed-wing aircraft. And whether it's flying in a wingsuit or racing towards the ground, he just loves getting there in a hurry.
A lot of people ask me, how do you go fast? Is it just who's the heaviest? And absolutely not. I'd say that 95% of how fast you can go is your skill at doing 2 things. One is staying nice and smooth and decreasing wobbles and any type of flutter, which is something that even fast aircraft have taken into consideration. They need to have their parts and pieces not shake when they're going that fast because of the vibration of the air. And then the other thing is just to go as straight down as possible.
What's exciting for both Kyle and Maxine is that new aerodynamic technology might allow them to fly even faster. And they're always on the lookout for the right kind of air.
We saw that recently when we were just competing in the U.S. National Championships in Skydive Arizona in Eloy, which is out in the desert. And it's a nice hot desert, and we have the elevation above sea level is greater than we were in Russia, so the air is thinner. We have a pretty high air density, so whenever we have those conditions, we can definitely go faster. I definitely want to break the 300 mile an hour. That sounds like a nice round figure for me, so I'm definitely going for that, but who knows? I don't even know if there's a limit. I'm sure there must be somewhere.
In speed skydiving, the air is their playground, and the sky is the limit. Don Riddell, CNN.
Let's check in with Julian one more time.
Thank you, and we are going to take a look at what we're seeing as of right now. The snow is starting to taper off as it is trickling out of southern Wisconsin. But taking a closer look, it was impacting some heavier bands towards the La Crosse and Viroqua areas earlier this morning. But now as we're closing in to about 9 o'clock hour, we're looking at the heavier bands starting to make their way into the interstate and near Janesville. Starting to still see some light snowfall here in the Dane County area, but it's not going to stick around throughout much of the morning. As we get into close to noon hour and the rest of today, expect plenty of sunshine, and on top of it, it is going to be blustery as winds are going to be seeing gusts of 40+ miles per hour. And our 3 things we're going to need to know to wrap things up for our forecast. Our takeaways of this: we're looking at our snow showers to end this morning. Gusts are going to be hitting around 40 miles per hour throughout the course of the day. However, we are looking at a warm-up as we see temperatures go back to the 40s, and yes, that is not a typo. Wednesday potentially seeing 60 degrees. Then we'll be going back down to more wintry-like feels into next weekend. But boy, it's going to be warm next week. Thank you all for joining us, and we will see you again next time.